launch. GC, go. Guidance, go. Fido, go. Prop, go. GNC, go. Max, go. Eagle, go. Ecom,
go. Pending final steps to cabin link check. Is there anyone here that would like to communicate with us? Can you give us a sign?
Welcome to the Rift Nation Network, the R&N, putting a slide in your glide and a dip in your hip. Welcome to the mothership, the home of the travelers of the universe. With shows throughout the week, you can find us at Instagram, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Spotify, and more. Everything you could want, everything you can need right here, right now. From the paranormal to the supernatural. From comedy to the spiritual. And now, your featured show. Shall we begin?
It's showtime, folks!
Podcast may contain material that some listeners may find sensitive, offensive, or disturbing. We strive to create respectful and informative content, but topics discussed may include mature themes such as violence, explicit language, or controversial subjects, triggering content including discussions related to mental health, trauma, or other sensitive issues, explicit language. Occasionally, our guests or hosts may use strong language. While we aim to handle these topics with care and empathy, we encourage listeners to exercise discretion. If you find any content distressing, consider skipping or seeking support. Remember that this podcast is not a substitute for professional advice. If you need assistance, please consult a qualified expert.
Hi.
What's going on?
Oh,
Everything.
Everything is going on.
It's freaking crazy.
It is.
Well, you just
It is.
I looked up a bunch of stuff today. Kind of figured out why it is what it is, but we got August, and then things will be okay. I think. But then we're going into eclipse season. So, eclipse season is a wild card.
Yes, it is. You know what's going to happen.
I did a lot. There's a lot of stuff to research, because what happens is when you look at all the world events that are happening, stuff that's out, like a lot of violence, a lot of stuff going on, and I look to the chart and I'm like, well, yeah, we do have Sun Pluto, but that could do it. Sun opposing Pluto, but that's separating. But we've also got all the outer planets we have at the 0 to 2 degree.
The beginning, a new beginning.
Yes. And so when we've got them, see, Jupiter's in a cardinal sign, Neptune, Aries are in cardinal signs. That's new starts, beginning. And when they're at 0 to 2, I mean, it's just massive. Like I've been talking every 2 weeks, it's massive shifting. Um, it's crazy. Sun opposing Pluto would cause violence. I did one of last week. I did one of my posts. It said, "Be awake, be alert." I'd never post that because you know how I am about fear. I hate fear.
Be vigilant about your surroundings.
I rare you've seen me post that maybe three times this year. It's not that much, but when I do post it, I mean it.
There's reasons.
Well, yeah, because Sun opposing Pluto. You know, Pluto is the underworld. Let's face it, Pluto is death, and it's power, and it's the thing, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the things that we don't want to see. And there's an asteroid. It's really interesting. I looked this up today because it's interesting. There's an asteroid called Orcus.
I think I've heard of it.
Orcus. Orcus is another name for Pluto, the underworld.
Really?
Except asteroid Orcus, and it moves, but it's kind of like Chiron. It doesn't move that quick. So Orcus is an asteroid, and when it comes into play in your natal chart, it's things that you have said you would do, things that you've said. This is the accountable one. So, oh crap, when Orcus is transiting on something, you better, it's like, so you know what Orcus does to you? Drags your butt down into the underworld and says, okay, you're going to get a whooping until you see the light, because you know you did. It's accountability. You did this, you did that, and you did this. So guess what? It's Pluto.
That explains a lot.
Well, I don't know. We'd have to look on your chart because right now he's transiting at 15 degrees of Virgo.
Okay, but that makes sense to me right now.
Virgo. Wait a minute.
I'm at in life.
That would be your 6th house. Your stellium is in the 8th house.
And what's the 6th house again?
Work, health.
Yes. Work.
But that's your rising. But I don't know. That would be hitting your stellium in the 8th house.
Well, it's hitting my 6th house too. Just saying, because I've been telling myself for quite some time that I need to change, and I've been open to it, but I haven't actively searched out until just recently. I really started to look.
Yeah.
And evidently I wasn't moving fast enough because there was an incident at work where I might have had to look real quick. My fault, but I took the next day. It was bad enough. I took the next day off for mental health day, and I went to the lake and I sat and thought, and I'm like, Spirit is really trying to say, hey, it is time for you to start a new journey. This is not fulfilling. This is hurting you physically. This is hurting you mentally, and you need to make the change. So I'm going to help you. So I'm looking.
Yeah, well, just look, and it's retro season, so just be aware that, but anything can happen right now with what we've got. Every day I look, and I literally can't keep up with it, because with all the shifting now, we knew it would get like this in August. Like Venus will start talking to that magic triangle when she goes by it. Mars will start talking. They all start to interact.
Yes.
So it's just a lot of patterns that are going to be wild. We have a full moon coming up in Aquarius, and it's a big one. It's a lot of truth. Orcus is all about truth too. Things that you've said in the past, or like if it's like opposing, like things in a job that you've done in the past when you didn't walk the straight line, it's going to haunt. It's going to get you.
Yeah.
So I'm looking on famous people's charts that are on the range right now, like where people are looking at them, and I'm thinking, I wonder where Orcus is on their chart, because then you get curious, and sure enough. So I'm doing a deep dive into that with famous charts.
The hell, hang on a second. My phone just started playing nature sounds
Oh, it did.
and a thunderstorm. I
Well,
like that.
It's thunder. It's storming here.
Well, I don't know. I've got 19 browsers open in my head, and I can't figure out where the music's coming from. So give me just a second here.
I heard I heard birds.
And it just stopped.
Yeah.
Okay,
That's
now
funny.
that's not a sign for me to go out in nature and ground and think. I don't know what is.
I don't know. Or don't have so much stuff on your phone, maybe. I don't know. But see, Saturn, like right now, you got to look at what's happening with the lessons. If you've got Saturn look on your natal chart at 0 to 2 degrees, it's like, okay, that's what's it hitting? What now is it hitting on my chart? It's on your ascendant right now. So what house is it pointing to? What aspects is it getting into that's affecting my life? Because it is swirling. This is what I've been talking about all year, that we were going to be headed into.
All of this is swirling around each other, and it's interacting positively for some, and it's interactingly air quote negatively for some, even though eventually that negative is going to be turned into positive. You just have to give it patience, put in the work, and wait for that positive aspect to come in.
Well, chaos has to come in for the calm. I mean, so we look ahead to what's ahead, and we've been saying chaos all year. We knew it would be chaotic. We knew it. And so you just ride it out. And you can look at your chart and find out where Saturn and Neptune are, find out if those are the areas in your life that are getting lit up.
Yeah.
And Neptune too is putting people through a confusion state. Is it really what we're going through now? Is it real? Is it not real? Because it's Saturn, which is reality, and Neptune, which is delusion. And they're together. They're together.
I have a perfect example of this. I'll be scrolling in the morning before I go to work, at noon on my lunch hour, what have you, after work, whatever. And I watch a lot of reels, specific people mainly, because I can learn easier from a short reel than I can from watching something long, because I lose interest. But a lot of them I'm seeing, it'll catch my eye. I'm like, okay, that could be some good information. And it's AI. It is AI with non-truths. Yeah. So people can get clicks and likes and make money. That is going to fool so many people, because some of them you can tell, it's AI. The voices, the way they move, it's all very similar. The tone of the voice, the cadence of the voice,
right?
It's AI. But a lot of people don't understand that. And there's going to be a lot of confused people out there getting fear-mongered.
Yes.
I don't like that.
Well, because of the fact it's new. And, Uranus into Gemini. Gemini is communications, and Uranus is the internet. It's electronics. So, and it's fast, and and Uranus likes to move fast. It likes to confuse. It likes to just bust through stuff. So it's just, people have to decipher things on their own.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Cindy, Saturn and Neptune are transiting her Chiron in the 11th house of Aries right now.
Yeah. And what's going to happen, Cindy, is Saturn will hit Pisces first, and then Neptune will hit Pisces, and then they come back in 2026. So they're headed back. They're going over what they just went over. So now they're going back, and then in February of 2026 is when they are completely conjunct. But they're together now. We're feeling the energy now. So it's like reality versus delusion.
Mm-hmm.
Reality versus delusion.
Yeah.
Saturn 6 first house, opposing Jupiter. Okay. Saturn 6th,
Sixth house
opposing Jupiter and Neptune, both
of
this,
the seventh house.
I don't get that, Denise. Which one? Transit Saturn, or are you talking about Jupiter and Neptune aren't together right now? Saturn and Neptune are together. Just natal chart, not transit. Yeah. Where are they transiting, Denise? Where?
Hey, Lisa.
Hi, Lisa. Where's Aries at? Okay, hon. What's your rising? I should know that by now. I should know that. I should know everybody. I know. It's crazy. It's what?
My Scorpio snuck in. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Perverts. So that's what's going on now. Is it real or is it a delusion? And then, the full moon. Spica. Oh, I love that. I have Spica too. We'll have to talk, Cindy, about Spica. I've tried to look for Spica. It's emerald. If you wear emeralds with Spica, Gemini. Gemini. I'm confused.
In Nebraska, we call it corn fused.
I'm confused, Denise. Most of the time when I'm talking, like I'll be talking to Denise, I'll have her chart in front of me. So what house, Denise, are Saturn and Neptune transiting? In Aries. Oh, you're a Gemini rising. Is that what it is? Okay. So just remember that. We're going through that thing of Virgo. Just mass confusion. Is it real? Is it not real? Is it real? Does that make sense?
It makes perfect sense. Because, when that thing happened to work, that was the third time it's happened to me. And I'm like, how can this be real? How? I don't understand it. And I had to go to the lake and sit and think and listen and speak until I figured it out.
Did you figure it out?
I did.
Is it your 10th? Is it your 10th house, Denise? I think they're up in your 10th house. Maybe. Well, and they're both at 0 to 2 degrees. So, and we've got Pluto at 0 to 2 degrees in Aquarius. So, not only do we have all this stuff that I said is going to be a lot, it's crazy. They're at very powerful degrees. They're called, if they're in a cardinal sign, it's called a world point. Any, not even cardinal, but any sign that any planet that goes to like Saturn and Aries or whatever, and they're 0 to 2, they're at what we call a world point. World events happen.
And
world events happen.
That could be worldwide or your individual world.
No, world. Major events usually happen when planets hit world points. So
Okay.
now we've got 3 on the world point.
Well, that's interesting because the Earth's axis, there is now talk that it has shifted again
Yep.
to the point where even the constellations, the sun, the moon, are at a different point in the sky.
Yeah.
Picture proven.
They do that.
Mhm.
They've moved. That's why that one where they've got there's an extra sign in between Scorpio and Sagittarius.
Mhm.
And if you do Indian astrology or Vedic astrology, they are looking up at the sky and the constellations in present time. We're looking at it way back when.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of endings, a lot of beginnings. There's just a lot. I get it. I get it.
There's a lot of repeating cycles right now.
Very much so.
Me and Howie and Renee were talking about this right before the show about how all 3 of us have noticed we are repeating in many aspects what we were going through pre 2020, pre C, sickness.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's about 2 to 3 years before that happened. We're noticing we are going through similar situations, and people are thinking and acting in a similar way that they did back then, now, as opposed to how everybody did during the sea sickness thing.
So was it a couple of years before this?
Mhm.
This because you know why, don't you?
17 to 18.
Well, Uranus just moved and shifted from a 7.5 year. It just moved from Taurus to Gemini.
There we go, Howie, Renee. There we go.
There you go. Uranus just moved. So that was quite, and that was the move that really kind of worried me, because that was going to be the one that we would feel the most.
Mhm.
That's the one that would be the most drastic shift, because it was leaving Taurus, which is slow, steady, prodding, stable, secure, into Gemini, which is all over the place. It's curious, it's fast, it's friendly, you know what I mean? So that's the one that I thought, oh crap, it's going to be crazy. And it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
No.
and look, you got four the outers that have shifted are now in retrograde.
And they are in a completely different place now than where they were at that time. So this is all new, even though it's the same. And people wonder why we go crazy.
I told you. I know. I said, oh, and did you see now where I was laughing, because now the day that I said, oh, we're going to see the alien crap July and August, sure enough, now they're saying an alien spaceship is going to attack us in November.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me?
How are they going to know that?
I can't because they have astrologers.
Where they've shown pictures of this thing that they've taken. It's so far away, all you can see is like blurry colors.
Yeah, but they're already starting to plant the seed.
That could be a comet shedding water vapor, ice crystals, and the light is refracting through them like a rainbow. You shine light through a crystal and you get a refraction like a rainbow.
Yeah.
It could be something as simple as that, but yet they're saying
it's the size of New York.
We're going to get attacked by an alien ship the size of New York, and it's going to be destruction.
Yeah.
Come on.
We're not going to fall for it. I'm telling us right now, in between Saturn and Neptune, this is not real. This is in their playbook. Isn't that funny? It's hilarious. It's like right
Now,
on schedule.
This also falls in with, which one is it? Project Bluebeam?
Project Bluebeam.
Where they're
Yeah,
gonna
we
fake
know
it.
the playbook.
Fake an alien invasion
Yeah.
with using AI and
Drones,
holograms. That's what
holograms.
the things they can do with holograms right now is amazing. Japan, they can make it look like a tiger is coming out of a building and gonna pounce on you.
Well,
And you
they're gonna be showing us that. Yeah, it's
so
yeah.
really
They're already starting to say it.
keep an open mind, think for yourself.
Here's my open mind. It's not real. Just laugh at it and walk away,
Yeah.
and just go. It's fake. Ugh,
Oh, them 80s.
God, I'm telling you.
80s. But speaking of the 80s, as the hair standing up on my arm, if I could watch a TV show where without having to do it automatic, just without having to go back in time in the manner I'm about to say, I would like to watch my life in the 80s without that thing making adjustments to my thinking and my behavior.
Well,
See what direction I would have went.
in the 80s, we were listening to disco. We were doing disco stuff.
You were doing disco in the 80s?
Wasn't it the 80s?
We were heavy metal in the 80s.
No, it was that. Let's see.
70s.
Yeah,
70s.
late 70s, early 80s. We were going to clubs all dressed up.
But I would be
That was
interested in
fun.
seeing the difference
We were having fun.
to see if I'd end up in the same place
Who
or if I'd
knows?
end up somewhere else.
Well, that's a Scorpio is you look forward. And that's another thing. This is the end of the old world. We are seriously at the end of the old world. That's why it's chaos. The new world will be here next year.
Yeah, Howie. Not going to happen. The Palladian would never let that happen to begin with. Not wrong. And then we got to deal with the lizard people. Lizid. You got to say it right. Lizard people. They're not going to let that happen. Then you got to deal with the felons that are not going to happen. Chuckles. It's
crazy.
Yeah, it really is.
You just
divergence. It's a thing.
Yeah. Well, and I think that a lot of people use astrology, and when you know what they're putting into the astrology to help with the energy that they know is behind them.
Yeah.
And right now, Saturn, Neptune, any bad astrologer is going to say, just tell them anything. They'll believe everything.
Yeah.
The masses will believe everything, and that's the truth because of Saturn, Neptune. So right now, it's like you have two people. Decipher if it's real. Listen to your intuition. 9 times out of 10, it's not real. What you're being told is, I'd say 99.9% is wrong. It's not real. Do the work yourself. Take the responsibility and educate yourself.
Yeah, and be responsible for yourself.
That's right.
If you do something, own up to it.
Yeah. And looking around where 15 Virgo is on your chart, that's where Orcus is floating around.
But
Orcus is going to come and get you.
But if something happens to you out of the blue that you don't understand, go out in nature and have a talk with spirit. Ask for guidance. Ask for not why did this happen to me. Ask what is this teaching you.
Yeah.
And then just listen. Because you're going to get the answer.
I think
And
so.
my answer was I went into a field that I really wasn't comfortable with, but I tried. Um, I don't learn the same way that everybody else does, so that's been difficult learning new things at work. Um, and Spirit has been telling me this for quite some time, but I got to a comfortable place. I have job security right then. Okay.
Yes.
I'm getting by. Told myself I was happy there. Key, told myself. I lied to myself. I lied to myself. I just realized that. I don't lie anymore. So why did I lie to myself? Because I was afraid of trying to find something else, change,
Well,
more change.
a fixed sign does not like change.
No, I don't.
No, they don't like it. They don't like it.
Sometimes it is necessary, and right now
Well,
it's necessary.
Here's the thing with the chaos, the old structures are and have collapsed. If you feed into that collapsed energy, you'll never be able to move ahead. So
Yeah.
structures, even that could be in your personal life, it could be in the collective, it could be in governments, it could be anywhere. They are collapsing. This world is not what we're going to have in the spring. So
No.
you know, don't feed into the negativity. Don't give it attention.
Mhm.
You know, don't, just like you say, go into a field, go out in nature. Don't give the chaos.
Shut the world off for a minute. Shut your phone off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shut the
You
music
have
off.
to.
If you can't go out in nature, like to the lake or a forest or something like that, just go in your backyard.
Clean.
Try to shut the noise off from the highways going by
Yep.
and cars, and just listen for nature.
Yeah.
Birds, crickets, frogs,
Ugh.
toads, whatever, nature.
You know, declutter a closet. Do something that makes you happy. Go to Hobby Lobby. Do something that you enjoy,
Mhm.
and bring joy into your life, because this is all temporary. It is. You can feel it. You can see it. You can feel it. It's. We knew it would be chaos. We knew it. We knew
Everything,
it would be turbulent. We knew this was coming.
everything is temporary.
Of course.
Our time here is temporary.
Well,
People's time in our lives can be temporary. It is temporary. Jobs can be temporary. Vehicles can be temporary. Teachers are temporary. Friends are temporary. And we have to accept that. Because when something comes into our life that we like, we want to keep that thing forever. But sometimes that's not always practical.
right.
Sometimes when you get, say, for instance, you get this really cool car, okay? But the way they designed it, it's not protected from rusting out like some other vehicles are. It gets dirt up into certain areas, and then water gets up into there, and it soaks up and doesn't dry, and it rusts out. Happens on many vehicles. So this vehicle that you loved so much, all of a sudden, is falling apart. It's temporary. So unless you do work to keep that, it may be time for a new vehicle.
Right.
And by new vehicle, I might also mean new teacher, new friend, new job. So be open to what Spirit is telling you, because I'm really listening right now, because I'm in a rough place in my life. I'm rough physically, I'm rough mentally, and I haven't been in this spot for quite some time. So I'm having a difficult time dealing with it. Luckily, I have people that I can reach out to, and they help me, they support me.
Well, that's good. See, that's wonderful.
So find someone. If you're in a not so good place, realize it's for a reason. It's because you're supposed to move. I don't mean move pack your house up and move. Maybe you're supposed to. That could be a thing, but you're supposed to move. You're supposed to get up and do something to better your life, to ease the chaos that is in your life right now.
I
Because if
wouldn't
there's
make I wouldn't make a single change until at least after Eclipse. Through August, September, I think it would be hectic. I think it would be chaotic, and I think it would just be setting yourself up for disappointments.
you know what, as chaotic as things are right now, a different chaos may teach me peace. I don't know.
I would just be very mindful, especially with Mercury in retrograde,
Oh, I am. I am.
and August. This full moon, we have a full moon in August. I think it's August coming up, August 9th. It's in Aquarius, and it's going to be opposing Leo. Yeah, Leo's sun. But it's got a lot of Mercury is opposing Pluto, which is going to be a lot of stuff that we don't want to see, a lot of downloads, a lot of nasty information is due out. Remember, I was talking about Orcus, which is like the Pluto, the underworld that comes back to haunt you.
Yep.
It's going to be with the South Node. The South Node is your past. So Orcus is going to be looking at your everybody's past. It's not because the South Node is transiting, and it's going to be hitting 15, and Orcus is right at that South Node. So during the full moon, asteroid Orcus is going to be going, okay, so what have you done in your past that maybe we should chat about?
I've done a lot.
Or maybe, or it's going to be, or to be fine, but you might have a lot of things from your past come back to bite you
Yeah,
during this full moon.
that's what I was just about to say. Me and Renee and Jan talked about this a bit on the last show. I recently had a soul shard return, and when it split is when I was still with Shannon, and things were not great. And so that returned, and it kind of jumped me back to that time
Yeah.
because this soul shard has not been through the healing journey that I've been through since it left. And when it got back here, it was like, what the hell is going on? Where's Shannon? Why don't we go to work at Napa anymore? Why this? Why that? Who's this person in your mind? Who's that person in your mind? Why this? Why that? And so I have been slowly training, catching this soul shard up. But something else that's interesting is the thing that the spirit mechanics removed from me didn't get removed from the soul shard. So there's still a little bit of that there. Hello. Well, guess what? I've learned enough that that's okay.
Yeah, gotta go.
Okay. No.
Just tell it to go.
No. Let me finish my sentence.
I mean, let it go.
No, it does not have to go. Listen to my reasoning. I have learned how to control those thoughts, those urges, okay? Because they still happen for quite a while after they removed that thing. It was habitual. Well, there's just a little bitty piece of it there. For years, decades, it got to run my life. Now, this isn't vengeful. This is the fact that I know what it wants. I know what it thinks. I know how it acts. I know what it does to get what it wants. Let's make it our little bitch. Protection.
Remember, Saturn and Neptune, reality versus delusion is happening right now.
I am in my reality.
Make sure you're in reality.
I am.
Okay.
I have talked to other people about this in the paranormal. have talked to Jan. I have talked to Renee. I have talked to others.
But just make sure.
I am sure.
Okay.
I am sure.
Okay.
Because you can take a very negative, okay, you think it's negative, you see it's negative, it's big and scary, okay, entity on an investigation. It may just need a little understanding. I've got a very awesome protector in my backyard that used to attack the hell out of me over a misunderstanding from my father's side's past. Blood curse, and broke that. And now I got a good buddy that gives me shit all the time and helps protect the fae on my property. Things can change if you do it in the right way.
Well, yeah. You can always change. Just make sure you're thinking clear. This is not a time where people are thinking clearly.
Yeah. Not wrong, Renee. Not wrong. But
that's right.
It's not.
She's 100% right.
Mm-hmm. But it's not time for me to close that chapter yet, because that soul shard still has things to learn. That thing still has has things to learn, and things are coming back around that I still need to learn that I missed. So I'm allowing this process to happen while keeping mindful of what could happen. And I've already talked to people. Hey, if I start acting different, look at me.
Well, on this full moon, when you've got Orcus hitting your south node, it's going to be on steroids, because that's your past. Is the south node
is on steroids right now?
Yeah, so just be mindful of that. Just it's temporary, but she's right. She's 100% right. But then here's the thing with like a Scorpio stellium and a fixed sign. And this is jolting the fixed signs the most, because they don't like change, and they know something's changing and has changed, like with Uranus coming out of a slow, steady type of an energy, moving into a fast, speedy, what the hell's going on type energy. They don't like to adjust.
Mm-hmm.
And a fixed sign, especially Scorpios, need to look forward. They look back. That's a Scorpio lesson. It's a huge Scorpio. It's the biggest lesson of Scorpio.
But if we allow ourselves to learn from the past, it's easier to look forward to the future.
Well, but you just have to do it, and you don't continue to look back. That's typical. That's atypical of a Scorpio. They do that, and especially a stellium Scorpio, where it's like on steroids.
Mm-hmm.
And you're a stellium Scorpio.
I can now getting used to it. I can now look at a recycled situation and look at how I handle it in the past. I can look back to the past to learn how to handle that situation differently now. But you have to condition yourself in order to do that, because your automatic is to handle that situation how you handled it then.
Give yourself grace.
This is a different situation. Let's try handling this situation differently, and let's see if we get a different outcome out of the situation.
And don't overthink it, especially with Mercury in retrograde, Neptune in retrograde, Saturn in retrograde.
That's the thing.
I mean,
you can't tell a Scorpio not to overthink. No, I'm serious. You can't. Cannot.
Those are lessons learned.
You cannot tell a Scorpio to stop overthinking. If we stop overthinking, we are no longer Scorpio. This is what we do. We overthink every situation that we do not have all the answers for until we come up with the correct outcome. And once we finally get those answers, guess what? We were correct, because we overthought it. Now,
but you're also always looking, and you're always looking for an outcome that maybe will never happen, because you won't allow it, because you won't give yourself grace to just let it happen naturally.
That's not what I'm trying to get to. In fact, that train of thought just went, boom, it's gone.
But just let it happen naturally.
We can't. We are unable to. We can't, especially when you add a TBI in, PTSD from past trauma, multiple past traumas that we are still in process of healing. You cannot tell a Scorpio to stop overthinking. It ain't gonna happen. Okay, this is, I gave this analogy the other day at work. When you walk into a concert, before a rock concert, before it starts, there are 30,000 people in there. Okay.
Yeah.
You walk in and you hear 30,000 people talking, and you can't make out any of it. It's just noise. That is what goes through my head every minute.
I never hear that. I've never heard that before.
Every day. Every
Like at
minute.
a concert.
You've never heard that?
No, I just look at people having fun and laughing. That's what I see at a concert.
Basketball game, football game.
No, I just see people having fun.
See, when I walk in, I hear everything.
No, honestly, I don't. Like a Bengals game and everybody's screaming and talking at once, it's fun.
Okay, next time you go in, when you sit down, take the fun aspect out of it. I understand that, okay? But take the fun aspect out of it, and then just sit there and listen to the noise. That is what's in here 24/7.
But see, that's the difference between a water sign that thinks and feels and an air sign like a Gemini and a Libra. A Libra and a Gemini and an Aquarius thrive on that kind of noise.
I can't.
See, and that's when you go into your cave.
Well,
your Scorpio cave.
Even when I go in the cave, that is still here. And I'm trying to look at lessons and learn
and that's where your lesson is, to learn to unwind that in your little Scorpio cave or under your little Scorpio rock. That's where they should go. Seriously.
Oh, I'm about ready to go back into my rock, under my rock. Just saying.
That's a good thing. But that's a good thing for a Scorpio, is to go under their rock in their cave.
Carol, crowded venue, too much human emotion. It is overwhelming.
No, see, and then you get air signs and they're like, this is great. We love it. So you can just see how different things are. But a Scorpio likes his cave and their alone time. And that's when they figure shit out. That's when they thrive.
Not wrong. Not wrong. I was just trying to explain to you how this mind works. What I hear, not only hear, but hear 24/7, every second of every day. That is what is in here. And I have to pick reality out of that. And it is difficult. It is.
And everything's lessons, but when you know that the energy swirling around you like it is now, give yourself some grace from it, because a lot of it is it's too overwhelming. Because it's moving so fast, you can't keep up with it right now.
Yeah.
You just cannot.
No, and there's so much going on out there in the world.
Yep. You can't.
I'm trying to keep up with what's in here and what came back and what I'm dealing with. It is.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So if a Scorpio would be to go in their cave, go in their rock, a Libra, get in your car, roll down the window, listen to your music. So everybody would deal with it differently, and just to realize that it's temporary. It's very powerful. The old world is collapsing. It doesn't get much stronger than this.
Well, I hope it gets quieter, because I'm tired.
It will. It will. I told you. How long have I rambled about August?
Mm-hmm.
And said, when we get through August, we're there, and we just know that we're there. Now you can look at the end and see the light at the end of the tunnel because we've made it this far.
I'm telling myself it's not a freight train.
Oh, it is a freight train. It's a big freight train. It's huge.
You're not helping. You're not helping.
I'm just telling you because I don't want it to be like it was in lockdown and you're like, you said this was going to be okay. And I'm like, well, I did. But I mean, I just kind of sprinkled a little glitter on it.
I will accept Ozzy's crazy train, but not a freight train.
You just have to give yourself. Yeah.
Trying to give yourself grace is like people trying to give themselves patience. It's a process. It is. It's
just you have to do it for yourself and say, you know what? You will. Scorpios know what to do. But the intent, I think what it is with Scorpios, especially, is the intensity factor because they feel everything.
We think we know what to do. But until we go through our healing process, what we think we need to do isn't always what we need to do. That's where I said, I look back at my past to see how I reacted then versus how I react now. And that allows me to see my growth, which helps.
Well, sure.
It's a little bit.
And that you should be proud of.
And I can practice the pause and think of better words than what wants to just spew out of my mouth.
I practiced your pause many a times.
I can take a step back from someone and instead of ripping their head off down their neck and sculpt what's left.
Yeah. And look how far you come with that.
Yeah.
So see, you should be proud of that.
But when people tell you not to look at your past, that is taking out a huge learning curve because you can look back to who you were then.
You can, but I think, but you can look at it and heal. But then when you get to a point where it's consuming to where it's affecting you to that point where you're like, you know what I mean?
Again, don't look at it. Why did that happen to me? Look at what you learned from it, so that I can become that's how I became me. I looked at my past.
Right.
I didn't like it. So I made the conscious decision to change. I did that. I did that work.
And you have to remember, we are going through massive cycles right now.
Yes.
Massive cycles of growth. And everybody's going through these growth. That's why everybody's acting crazy. And it's like the whole world is freaking crazy. And this full moon coming up is going to just trigger it all over again. Is there a Gemini at the door?
No.
It is, but what's going to happen with this full moon in Aquarius? It's the collective. So it's going to be things that the collective is going to see that's shocking. So it won't be too bad because you're going to be going, oh my God, are you kidding? That just happened?
We're finally starting to get some answers to some questions that we've wanted answers to. And we're going to have to be open. Oh, that, I just picked up a stone that I needed to, and it is hot. There's going to be a lot of truths coming out, and a lot of people are not going to like those truths. Dan Bongino put out that.
What was that?
With what he discovered, with what he's been looking into, it shocked him to the core, and he'd never be the same. And then he said, even though you don't think anything is happening, it is, and the truth will come out. not their truth, not my truth, but the truth. That hair standing up right there, that's verification. So just be open to the fact that we may get some honesty that we may not actually really want to see, even though we think we do. Things are changing, and it's going to be for the best, even though we're going to hit. It's like you're going to run into a brick wall head first, and you're going to go, "What the hell?" You know, like when you're working on something and you reach up and you bang your head on something. What the hell? That's what it's going to be like. And just be open, do your own homework. Everything's changing.
Yeah.
Everything is changing. I'm really looking at making some big changes around my life. I just need to figure out how to do it
You will.
and the proper way to do it. Proper way is key.
If he said, okay, this is a man that was what, a Secret Service, right? FBI, correct?
Yeah,
Secret Service. So think about
he was
things
on.
that he has seen, and
He
it
was on.
still shocks him to the core.
He was on Obama's Secret Service.
Okay, so here's, if you look at what's going on in America's chart, and I've said this puzzled me for so long. Saturn and Neptune are in the 5th house, and they're moving back over the karma path. Remember? Guess what the 5th house is in America's chart? Children.
And what are they actively searching for?
Children.
Children.
That's
And
what
we have
that's
found
what it is.
Thousands of them.
Hundreds of thousands.
I support them in that.
350,000 came across the border with no DNA testing. 65,000 hotline calls went unanswered for children calling in.
Yeah.
That's got to be it. That would shock anybody to the core, right?
This border agent, he put out that this one child had come over with different parents like 13 times.
Yes.
He'd come over, they'd ship him back. He'd come over, they'd ship him back. People, that is bull. That's bullshit. Just think of that with your child. No.
I'm telling you, the atrocities are going to shock people to the core. And that stumped me for the longest time, that I couldn't figure out. Saturn and Neptune in America's chart are in the 5th house. That's stuff we enjoy. That's our joy.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we do. That's hobbies. It's going to ball games. It's fishing. Like you go to the lake. It's things, golfing. But it's also children.
Mm-hmm.
It's the children of the country.
Just if they actually put out, and I don't think they're going to put this out. I don't think they will. It's too horrific. But if they actually put out what actually happened in the DUMBs, the deep underground bases, DUMB, dumb, deep underground base, to people down there,
They're going to have to.
That's what Mr. T was taking care of at the end of his first presidency. That's why there are always all of these deep underground explosions.
I know.
People were being saved, brought back up. Hair is standing up. That is verification. And then they would blow it up.
Yep.
They blew up something under the Vatican. Just saying.
Well,
smoke coming out of the street gate, the sewer gates.
yeah. Do you remember when the water was coming out of the sewers in DC?
Mm-hmm.
The water was just, and it wasn't raining.
Nope.
But, we're getting bits and pieces of the rescues that are going on.
They're going to let it out slow. They're going to try to let it out slow. That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to let it out slow so that everybody isn't shocked to the core and people just go off. because there are people out there, I must say it, like the left, making these screaming videos. Okay. I mean, screaming nonsense.
Dude, unhinged.
Unhinged. They have psychological issues in my own opinion.
Yeah.
But just think of how many people in the United States can have psychological issues. And if all that came out at once, would not be good. So they got to do it in, okay, here's a little bit. Okay, let's give them a little bit to get used to this. Here's a little bit more. That's why they're trying to slow things down. So don't get mad. Just wait for it.
Do you think that's why he just did that executive order starting to open up mental institutions and mental hospitals again? Because they closed them down in the 80s.
Yep. Now, a lot of why they closed them down was because of
Abuse.
Abuse, yes. So I feel they are still needed.
Yes.
But I feel they are needed in a different aspect as to how they were provided for. We had one, it's VSDC, the Otter State Developmental Center. It was called something different a long time ago. But a long time ago, do you know how they gave these people showers? They would line them up naked in the hallway and use fire hose.
Yeah, I mean, it was abusive.
Yes, it was.
But that's part of, if you look at it astrologically, that's the old system collapsed. That is what I'm talking about. The structures that weren't working are collapsing, and it's being rebuilt.
Yes, we have to have patience for that.
Yeah.
It's happening right now. We are living through this. We are going through astrology that no one has ever seen.
Right.
This is all new. Even though it's recycled, we have repeating cycles coming back up during this all new period where all 5 outer planets have moved and shifted and are retrograding back and then going forward again. This is crazy.
Well, and we got the most intensity of the little magic triangle, which I talk about all the time. And what's happening now is we've got the the little baby magic triangle that's happening with Uranus, Pluto, and Neptune, Saturn. That will be with us all through 2026, 2027.
Good.
It'll start to separate 2028. It's very positive.
Good. It needs to grow. Little baby needs to grow.
The
Here's
baby, but the thing about it is it's a jolt coming into play right now, because you've got Uranus, which is the great awakener, Pluto, which is transformation, and Neptune, which is saying it's the oneness. It's the oneness with God. I mean, that's where you need to go. So it's your highest spiritual mind. And that's going to be with us for 3 years, separating. But the strongest, we're going to start to feel it the strongest in August. So I think a lot of this is going to shift more to the grass is greener. We're starting to see light at the end of the tunnel in August, if that makes sense. But it's chaotic getting there.
And that makes sense, because a lot of people refuse to change. They cannot change unless something so traumatic happens to them that they are forced to look at themselves and look at the world around them. And sometimes that force is spirit saying, you know what, you need to wake the fuck up.
Yeah.
Here it is. And that will shock them to the core, and they will be destroyed. Been there. And they're going to need a lot of help.
Well, I mean, let's think about this. I've said repeatedly, and I've been screaming for 4 years, that they stopped DNA testing on children when they came across the border and were given to sponsors that nobody vetted. And I have been, I have, Keith, I have been screaming about this since Biden signed that executive order.
Yes, we will.
I don't care who signed it. It was wrong. I don't care if it would have been Trump. I would have been screaming.
Absolutely.
I don't care who did it, whoever did it, it was wrong. So that's an atrocity that I could show people that EO, and they'd be like, no, that didn't happen. That didn't happen. And I'm like, here it is.
You can show it to them.
It did happen.
Here.
You know, and they testified last week in front of the Senate on a hotline. 65,000 children called into the hotline, and the calls went unanswered.
Yes.
Testified under oath.
Explain this shit.
Explain it. Somebody, and they're like, no, that didn't happen. No, I've been around trafficking and children and missing people for decades.
There's legal proof of it.
But
Black and white.
I keep thinking maybe it's Neptune, Saturn, and people just, the reality isn't sinking in to what are people going to do when they start finding the fields in Arizona and in Texas, the killing fields? Because they're there. They're out there.
Yeah.
There's backpacks, there's shoes. What are people going to do when they start digging them up?
There are pictures of that very thing. The mountains of backpacks, shoes.
I know.
Clothes right by the border.
I know.
She lives right by the border.
Hundreds.
She has seen this.
Yeah, but
if
you
by
show
the border
people.
have not seen it. You need to open your eyes.
It's mind-boggling that it's just maybe because it's so horrific, you just don't want to accept it. But when I think if it rocks a Secret Service man and an FBI man to his core, we better get prepared.
Yeah, you better get ready.
He's not the kind of man that would just say that.
Because he has been doing a show for years. He has been putting this out for years. He thinks like we do. Here's this. Here's this.
You told me to watch him, and I liked him.
And he puts the receipts out. He puts the black and white out. Okay, here, it's in the page notes over here. You can go see this. He puts it out there.
He doesn't say it if it's not real.
If what he's saying that he's saying is rocking him to the core and he'll never be the same, after knowing what we have and been spouting the same thing we have for years, I can only imagine.
I can't. And I follow it.
Yeah.
Look what they're finding in Alabama. Florida. Every week they have found 35,000 so far out of 350,000. Think that number is mind-boggling.
10%.
Where's the rest?
But, okay, in 7 months, they found 10%, where the previous administration lost the entire batch.
They weren't lost. This was intentional.
Okay, air quotes, lost.
Yeah.
So they are making a difference.
They're saving so many of them, as many as they can.
And not only children, they're rescuing women from human trafficking. And,
oh, sure they are.
You know, they are saving people's lives that should never have been put into those situations in the first place.
The kids, you know, a lot of it we're going to have to wait and see what happens. But it's got to be the fifth house with the children, I think, and we need to be prepared. If it doesn't occur, then thank God we find that the ones that they do save, and we'll be at least mentally prepared for it.
Mm-hmm. And we need to get mentally prepared for what we are going to find out.
Yeah,
okay,
it's coming.
So whatever you think, looking for words here. Oh my God, that's so bad that can't happen. Take that times 10.
You think?
And get ready for that. But be thankful that we get this information, because we get to learn, we get to grow, and we get to heal, and we get to start doing things in a new, different way.
That's right.
That's kind of Pluto destroying the old. Mercury, here's your information.
That's right.
Now, let's grow. something
right.
new and better. I pay attention sometimes.
Well, well, you know the planets. You know when I talk about them.
A little.
This Mercury is opposing Pluto on this full moon.
Mm.
That's a bunch of information coming because full moon. What does that do? That shines a light on information.
Yes, full moon is a time of release.
That's right.
Release your reluctance to take on new information, to learn. Release negative things, people, whatever, jobs. Yeah, I hear you. Release it from your life so you can find something new. The new moon, you bring in new things that you want. That are your affirmations. But do it positively in a positive manner,
Yep.
smart way. Okay, if you want to find a new job, okay, I'm open and ready for a new job, but while I'm keeping my current one so I can keep paying my bills.
Right.
Something will. And another positive thinking aspect is thinking of, okay, I have this already. I have this new job already. I just have to wait for spirit to
That's right. Timing.
take time. There's something out there for me, and I will find it.
Well,
But something wasn't right, and it didn't work out, and that's okay.
what is your no, let me think because the first eclipse is September 7th. That's a north node eclipse. That's when you gain, that's when you get things. That's when things occur. So that might be around September 7th.
Okay, that makes sense because that's actually something I'm thinking about going into. Is what my sole purpose is. I just have to figure out how to electronically do it. But there's that, that Scorpio fear of failure. Well, we don't fail, we learn. So if it didn't work this way, try it this way. Overthink it, figure it out. You will. I want to get to the point where I can support myself
Right.
by helping other people. Teaching, healing, that's my goal. And I'll get there eventually, but I still have to support myself while I'm getting there. Patience, no.
Well, you
No.
got Jupiter is transiting in your house of home.
Oh, I've been working on the home again.
Opposing your house of career.
Well, this weekend, after my incident work, I said, screw work, and I worked on the home. So now I almost have attic stairs going all the way up to my attic.
See?
And I've been working on that, trying to make myself get up and figure out how to do it for 3 years now.
And you did it.
I did.
Good.
I have 3 more stair stringers to build, screw them in place, put the stairs on, and I can walk up my attic without having to climb a ladder.
So, and then it's going to be opposing Leo. Leo is about his courage.
Well, I kept worrying about not being able to figure it out. And guess what? It took a while, but I did. I overthought it to the point where I saw a picture.
It's got guess what else it's got with it? Wait. Do something on this full moon. It's got a grand trine with all air, which is creativity. It's creative ideas. It's Mars is in Libra, Pluto's in Aquarius, Uranus is in Gemini. It's got a beautiful grand trine, air.
A good thing for me to release would be not being able to see things right in front of me.
And be creative. Use your creativity.
Well, I can be very creative.
Well, use that and use Pluto and Aquarius because Pluto is your one of your ruling planets, and it's going to be sitting in a grand trine.
Let's go. Come on.
Bring it.
Come on. Let's go.
Where's that at right now in your chart?
I have no
Oh,
idea.
it's in the 11th house. It
Ah.
just left. Wait, 12. Where's Aquarius,
The 11th.
Pisces? No, it's your 11th house. Social circles, friends, organizations,
Aspirations, dreams.
dreams, aspirations, and dreams.
Well, I have a dream of finishing this house. I have a dream of finding my dream job. I have a dream of finding my dream partner in life. So who knows? We'll see.
Well, you got Jupiter in the 4th. That's good. I mean, it lines up. Let it happen. Let that grand trine. I like that. But we got to be prepared for info coming in too collectively.
Yeah,
when
we do.
he said shocks me to the core. That when you said that, it was
that's
like,
major.
what?
That is major.
That's major for somebody that's probably seen more things than you and I combined.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. He was
What-
in the FBI.
What would he's probably seen people like get shot and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
He's seen the worst of the worst.
Yeah.
In his job.
And he can't talk about it. He can't talk about it.
And that will never change him. He said it will never. It shocked me to the core.
Mm-hmm. Change him forever, he said.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What could that be?
I don't know if I'm ready for that.
I think it's what the astrology is telling us. I think it's a 5th house.
Yes, Renee.
Well, 11th house, transformation, Aquarius. Aquarius is all about the collective.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe start the healing with doing stuff with friends and groups that you're associated with.
See, I have friends, but they're all many miles away. My local friends,
Yeah.
I figured out weren't really friends, except for a couple. But I don't really like hanging out with people unless they are the exact right people.
Right.
So if I go fishing with myself or with my son and my daughter and my granddaughter. Or with my partner if I'm with them. I don't call up Joe Blow from down the street who we've drank beer together for 20 years and say, hey, you want to go fishing? I don't do that anymore. I've learned that's not the right thing to do for me in my situation.
Well, I would use this full moon energy. Eclipse, that could happen.
Hey, Lois.
Hi, Miss Lois. But we'll just have to wait and watch. That it's a good full moon, but we do have Mercury opposing Pluto in there. So just be prepared to hear things that we might not like to hear.
And if I'm just going to say, from me and Jan and Renee's show the other night, if something happens and you have no control over it,
yeah. Yeah. Well, that I think we have to be responsible as the people here that it happened here.
Mm-hmm.
And accept the atrocity that we might be looking at.
Yep.
I think it's pretty obvious that things have happened.
It is, even though people still deny it to the hill. But on that note, I've got to hop off here for tonight.
All right.
I got a couple things I got to do before I head to bed. So thank you.
Oh,
again.
Thanks, honey. Well, have a good week. Hang in there. It'll be okay.
We'll get there.
You'll get there. You'll be fine. I got faith in you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, everybody. Hang in there, everybody.
All right. Night, girl.
Night, hun.
All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in tonight and supporting the RNN. As always, there is a nice little QR code up there where you can give us a copy or you can send stars to support us. That's very appreciated. Helps us do what we do. We do this show to help you as much as we do to help ourselves. So again, thank you for joining. Thank you for sharing. And we will see you next Monday, where it will be me, Jan, and Renee. And we don't know what the hell we're talking about yet. We got to figure that out. But from our last, well, from all of our shows, I'm sure it's going to be very interesting. So tune in then. So we'll see you then. Have a good evening. Relax, enjoy, and good night.